Hello Pisces, welcome to your bonus reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Ace of Wands. This is the beginning of a very powerful creative surge of energy, right? This is focused attention. This is power that you this is like almost raw power, raw talent, raw energy, right? I feel like this is being channeled into a very specific current for you. This is the beginning of a really maybe life-changing process, life-changing path. I feel like this is a surge of power, of creative energy, even of certainty, of determination, of confidence that I think maybe you've never even felt before, right? This is kind of, this is the strongest maybe that you've ever felt, or the most capable that you've ever been, right? And it's laser focus. This is concentration. Yeah. We need to put this energy into some context, right? Let's see how you're going to channel this surge of energy. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. First, let's do an angel number card to get us started here. And your angel number is 1441. Your unique skills, life goals, your mission, your sense of self, your honesty, your important projects. It's that time of intense self-development. Focus your mind on your craft. You already have what it takes to succeed, but practice makes you a master. It also serves to find your true purpose. Leveling up in your career or business is the priority right now. Leveling up, yes, focus, this surge of this can-do attitude, right? And it does say it's your career or your business, but, this could be, this is your work. And when I say work on this channel, I don't just mean what you do for money. I don't just mean your job or your career or your employment. I mean whatever you're burning calories working on every day. Maybe you're in school, maybe you're retired, maybe you're like me, somewhere in the middle, right? Let's see what else is going on here. We got that Hanged Man. Interesting, the Hanged Man, yes. And 8 of Swords and 8 of Cups. 5 of Cups and, whoa, 5 of Wands. This is kind of like you're unstucking yourself. Right? If we feel that we've been sort of stuck in a heart-mind loop, you are doing what it takes now. You're making the sacrifices that you need to make. That's what the Hanged Man's all about, right? You're putting in the work that you need to get where you need to be in life. You're leveling yourself up, right? This is extraordinary. This is you really, with this fire energy, it's kind of like you're putting the past behind you. You are putting all of your doubt, all of your pessimism, all of these negative feelings, negative thoughts, all of the confusion, all of the doubt, all of the muck, you're leaving it behind you. And you're moving forward with confidence, with power, with a self-assured, assertive, fiery, creative energy. The 5 of Wands, right? But if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Let's lay out the rest of our cards here. We've got a 7 of Swords. We've got the Death card. We've got the Emperor, yes. Yes, because the Emperor is how the Hanged Man might evolve, right? The Hanged Man, there's a connection here. We got the crossed legs, right? The Hanged Man is the one that's doing that difficult work. It's kind of like you have to immerse yourself in this. You have to really suffer for your art if you're going to become the emperor, the authority, the master, right, as we see here. Practice makes you a master. And that master is one that can live authentically and confidently, with grace, right, and with respect. That's very, very good. It helps to find your true purpose, and I think that's what the Ace of Wands is. It's the Emperor's wand. You found the wand, now you're going to get good at it until you become the Emperor, right? I think you found your path, you found your purpose, and you're going to have to put in a lot of work here. You're leveling up, you're finding your unique skills, you're leveling up your life, whether it's career or business or something else. It's your mission, it's your sense of self, right? It's your life goal. Be on the lookout for 1441. Our final card is, of course, more Aries energy. And Pisces, it's been a theme in your readings for a while now about how you are sort of evolving into the Aries sign, you know, because Pisces, you're the last one, right, in the wheel of the zodiac. And so it's kind of a natural fit that you would evolve into the next sign. It could be that a lot of you are on the cusp, Pisces and Aries. But I feel like this is really about you stepping into your power, discovering your true nature, and stepping into that, accepting that, embracing that, taking responsibility for that. Yeah. And using it and developing and saying, you know what, I know what my potential is, and it is my mission in life to fulfill my potential. Your, what the card is calling your unique skills. Yeah. Oh, this is good. We're going to select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with our big red ant. I'm not sure what to call the big red ant. Maybe Clifford, the big red ant, or I don't know. Kind of thinking Andy. Andy, the big red ant. But if you have a suggestion, put it in the comments down below. Also, if you have a prediction for that card, put that in the comments down below too. We can do it together. We can use our intuition. All right. So let's take a look around the room now. We have 1, 2, 3 major arcana energies. Both of these are Aries cards. Okay, this is the Knight of Wands. It represents an Aries energy, the cardinal fire. Of course, the Emperor rules the sign of Aries, so we have those two Aries connections. But you've got the Hanged Man transforming, all right, through this death card, shedding the skin, shedding the old can't-do attitude for the new can-do attitude, right? The apprentice becoming the master, all of the sacrifice that goes into pursuing your will. Now you've become that authority. You've succeeded. This is you as your best self. You've completed a step in your evolution. This doesn't have to be career-related. It doesn't have to be creative, like art-related. It doesn't have to be related to a sport or anything like this. It could, and maybe that's, that could be true for some of you. But it's some sort of evolutionary step forward for your spiritual life. And I think, by proxy, your physical life too, though. Let's look at this. We don't have any earth cards, do we? We've got 1, 2, 3 majors. We've got fire, fire, fire. We've got water and water. We've got air and air. So the earth cards, they're not here. Maybe we'll get some in the mystery card, but I think the reason for that is that this isn't about money. If you're good at this, the money will come. That's no big deal. That's going to be there, right? It's kind of like Spirit saying, don't worry about money. It's going to take care of itself. It's a byproduct of this intense effort. It's also saying that the details of what this is don't really matter. What matters is that you discover what this, let's say, unique skill or what your mission, what your will, what your identity is, your sense of self, right, that Ace of Wands, that you have this idea and you do all of this work to realize that idea. I kind of think the Earth card will be there in the mystery card. But I think each one of you have a different, unique will, a different, unique perspective. This big idea is going to be different for everybody. That's why I can't really tell you what it is, And it doesn't matter what it is. The details don't quite matter. What matters is the effort. What matters is the certainty, the confidence, and the identity. You know if this is an expression of your spirit or not. Okay? And this really is. This is the one thing that you're going to commit yourself to. This is it, right? This is something for which you are willing to, sacrifice. You're willing to work hard. Practice, again, right? Practice makes the master. Intense self-development. And I think the Hanged Man here is also reminding us that it doesn't always have to be obvious, physical, expected progress. Right? We don't have a Nine of Pentacles. We can't always see the progress. So even when we think we're idle, we're not idle. There's intense internal work going on. That's where most of this is taking place, probably, is on the internal planes. Heart, mind, soul, right? Body. But internally. I think that's another reason why we don't have any overt earth cards. And I say overt because the death card in the position of the environment is talking about some physical, physical environment type of issues. And the Emperor is, of course, the fourth mystery of the tarot. The number 4 connected with the idea of earth and sort of solid material world stuff. Okay. The Hanged Man very often is talking about the relationship that we have with our body. Kind of looks like someone who is doing some very intense stretches or exercises or yoga poses, right? So I think that this is definitely something that's taking place within you. I think it's important that you get in touch with your body. Another reason why there's no earth cards here, you need to be aware of your body. You need to get in touch with it, okay? To understand what's really going on. Where are you holding tension in your body? What can you do to start to work through some of the, they say that if you get a deep tissue massage, right, it unleashes a lot of toxins in your body. It unleashes a lot of emotions too, right? A lot of stuff comes out when we start doing the body and through intense exercise or stretching or yoga, or even just going for a little walk or a light jog can unleash a lot of things, okay? So consider that. Anyway, consider doing some sort of intentional movement, of course, within your own physical limits, and consult your doctor and all that stuff. It may be that some of you have been experiencing a little bit of an illness lately. Okay, I think that your vitality is returning to you. Okay, that the sickness is passing. It's the sickness, I believe, when, now I'm not a doctor, it's not a medical reading, but sometimes it's our physical stress. Sometimes it is our feeling of despair, it's our emotions, it's this. The 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups. This can cause some disturbance in the body. Sort of psychosomatic in a way. If we are intensely stressed out, if we feel lost, if we feel stuck, if we feel in despair, it can affect us physically. Okay? And again, there's no earth cards here. Take a look. Self-check-in kind of time, right? Analyze, look over, internally scan, do the body scan, the yoga nidra exercises. Get in touch with your body. Okay? See what might be going on there. Underneath the surface, of course, we have this 8 of Swords. It hasn't always been clear what you're meant to do in life. There have been times where you've been lost, confused. This might even have become a bit of a default state. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. This is kind of like, the old cliche when, you see this on the internet or you talk to people and they just say, hey, look, I'm 50 years old. I still don't know what I'm doing, Because I used to have this idea that when I was a kid, when I was in high school, let's say, I should have figured out what I wanted to do in life. I should have had a goal. I should have said, well, I can't wait. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to take this major. This is what I'm going to do for my life. I had friends that were like that. I had friends who were 10 years old. They said, I know what I'm doing when I grow up. Really? I have no idea. When I was a kid, I remember one time my dad asked me what I was going to be when I grew up. I said, I'm going to be a firefighter. And I came back 2 seconds later. I said, no, I want to be whatever God wants me to be. And it sounds kind of silly now, but I think that's really an interesting thing for me. And I think for all of us, when we have that dilemma of should I have picked a goal already? You know, what does it say about me that I still don't know what I'm supposed to do in life? You know, that I didn't pick a major in college. I took some college things and whatever, and then I was an EMT for a little while, and I had some interest. I took some college courses and stuff, but mostly it was just what sort of inspired me. It wasn't for a particular track, right? But then it started to become socially acceptable to not know what we're doing. And now it's just like, wow, I'm 60 years old. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be when I grow up, So we've kind of accepted as normal this idea of not having a direction, right? And I think both extremes are a little maybe missing the mark. I think somewhere in the middle is what we really want. We don't have to decide very young, almost arbitrarily, I'm going to be a firefighter. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Because that's limiting. That's giving ourselves kind of a lot to live up to, And I do know some people that said that when they were young, and that's what they're doing today. It's been, a lot of years. They're still doing it, same thing. But I think there's a need for discovery here. And so it sort of means more, or it has, I don't know, maybe more depth to it when we struggle, when we search, when we are lost, when we are on this journey of, I don't know where I'm going. We're sort of wandering around, we're figuring it out. And maybe that is us sort of trying to figure out what God wants us to be. Goddess, deity, true self, higher self, guardian angel, spirit guides, ancestors, whatever you want to call it. Higher mind, higher consciousness, the energy of the universe, spirit, whatever it is. Whatever that higher sort of power is. It could just be it could be internal, right? It could be your own divine flame, whatever it is. Whatever you believe in. That we're searching for that. And I think that you've been on this search for a long time. We even have an 8 of Cups in the background here. And the 8 of Cups is, to me, it goes hand in hand with our 8 of Swords, because the more we the more we feel lost, and we're sort of, when you're lost, you're kind of, it's almost like you're going in circles. And you see that in a lot of these movies and stuff, right? Where they're trying to find their way out of the woods, but they come back to the same, they're like, hey, I remember that tree and that rock. I'm going in a circle, right? Do that enough times, you start to feel that there's no hope and no help coming. Okay? So I think that you've been through a period of a pretty significant rut. I don't want to say depression, right? Sounds too clinical. But you've been through a dark night, if you will. I feel like that is coming to a close. I feel that you are discovering your essence. You're discovering yourself and what you're meant to do. And I think the Hanged Man is realizing that all of that suffering, all of that being lost, all that hopeless, helpless feeling, was all worth it. It's behind you now. It's in the rearview mirror. Because you're discovering your will. Now here comes this fiery energy that then connects us with the Aries. You're furthering your evolution. And yeah, maybe it's taken you a long time to discover what you're meant to do in life. I don't feel like it's ever one particular thing. That's a reason there's no Earth cards here. You can't just say, I'm going to be a firefighter, and then that's it. Because yeah, maybe at the time, that is your essence, that is your will, that is your identity, that is your mission and your purpose, right? But maybe in a few years or later on, that's going to change to something else. Maybe it's going to be, I'm not a firefighter anymore. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a building engineer or an architect or something, right? It's not so much in what you're doing, but how and why. Okay? And a lot of people, when they're kids, some of my friends, they've picked something just because they had to pick something. They felt pressure from their parents, probably, their family. They had to pick something, one thing. Pick it, do it. That's what they did. Doesn't mean that was their purpose. Maybe it was. Maybe they got lucky and they knew their purpose when they were very young. Maybe some of you have too. But there is this feeling of not being so certain. Okay? The heart and the mind are despair, are lost, right? Helpless, hopeless, but that's ending now, right? We see the Five of Cups up here at the top, okay? This is some movement of the water energy. Here it's just kind of stagnant. This is just kind of like we're in a swamp and we just keep like paddling around and around and around. We keep going in circles. But this now, we've picked up on a current. Now, oh gosh, there's an outlet here. There's a current. There's a river flowing somewhere. And we're starting to feel that movement build up. We're starting to feel the pull in a certain direction. We realize that there's a current carrying us in a particular way. And maybe in all of our paddling, all of our frantic paddling around this lake, we couldn't feel the current. It's only when we stop, we could feel a little bit of a breeze maybe. We could feel the water sort of, and it's almost like you take a leaf or something and you put it on the water. You try to be very still, you look at it, and it's off somewhere. You're thinking, there is a current here. There is a pattern, there is a trend, there is a calling in a particular direction. Sometimes this is about, the Hanged Man, very often about that. Suspending our judgment, suspending our activity, suspending our actions. Stop paddling the boat and just sit quietly in meditation. See if there is a pull in any particular direction. Yeah. Well, this is the card of disappointment. This is the card of saying, wow, there should have been something here, but it wasn't here, and now I'm kind of sad about it, And this is still looming up top. This is still looming above you, and it's it's casting a shadow on the whole reading. Okay? This idea that I may try, it may not work. That I'm going to get my hopes up. What if I'm disappointed? Okay? But it's that time of self-development. You practice, 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 and maybe sometimes we'll fail, sometimes we'll be disappointed in ourselves, but there's still, I think, an underlying satisfaction in this, right? Because we realize that, if I'm not sometimes feeling disappointed, that means I'm not really doing anything. I'm not really challenging. I'm not really pushing myself forward. If you pick up a baseball bat and you're just hitting home run after home run after home run after home run, you're not getting any better. You're already good, right? It's only when you strike out a couple times and you say, okay, I need to adjust my swing. I need to adjust my stance a little bit. Maybe I need to go taller forward in the batter's box, maybe back a little bit, maybe inside a little bit more, whatever it is. Maybe choke up a little bit, like we used to do in Little League. Line your knuckles up the right way, And then we keep doing it, right? So it's through the strikeouts, it's through the swing and a miss that we get an idea of what we need to work on and how we need to develop ourselves, right? This is a time of intense self-development. So you need to have these moments of a swing and a miss. Okay, nobody just picks up a bat and suddenly they're just hitting home runs, constantly. And even if you are already good at this, which if this is your purpose, if this is your mission in life, you're already pretty good at it. Okay, because there seems like there's already this underlying talent or skill. But now we're trying to become the master, we're trying to make this our life. Right? If you love this, make it your life. If this is your mission, then this is it. You got to give it all you got. So you got to keep pushing yourself and keep doing it, keep trying to learn and grow and try new skills. And until you sort of reach that point where, okay, I missed the ball. Okay, good. Now I know where my upper limit is. So I know what I need to work on to level that up, you see. And that's what we're doing here. We're leveling up now. The Five of Wands is here in the center of the table. This is the very, very center of the tarot table today. It is the axis mundi. It is the card around which everything else revolves. And this is your effort. This is your power to strive. This is your power to fight. Okay? This is your power to push back. Right? But it's not just it's not frantic. It's not just you're mashing the accelerator 10 of wands. No, it's a 5. You understand the dynamics. You understand the push and the pull. You understand where you need to put in a little more effort to strengthen your weaknesses, and where maybe at some points you just need to focus on your strengths and level those strengths up. Right? If you leave your strengths here and then you bring up your weaknesses, okay, well, we're still here. This is still the ceiling. Sometimes we have to work on our strengths and level them up, and then we bring everybody else up too. Okay. So in this case, we've got this energy moving forward, and you understand the reason for the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is just one factor that's allowing you to make progress. We're moving forward. We're going to go to the path of the Serpent now. 7 of Swords as your general energy. This is sort of the perception that there are many different roads in front of you. Okay? And if you have this skill, this mission, this talent, you know that you're on this path of self-development, of spiritual development, that's going to then sort of, translate into your life, your actual like physical progress and physical existence, whether it's career or whatever it is, your life's mission, It still seems like there are a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of options in front of you about which channel you're going to send this fiery, electrical, magical current of energy. There's still a lot of different wires, It's kind of like, you want to make a phone call, but what number do you dial? You have all of this creative energy and these skills, but how do you want to really apply them? Okay, it might be really a trial and error. So just because you try something and it doesn't seem like it is really a good fit, doesn't mean you're wrong about what you want to do. Just means maybe you got to try a different pathway. All these roads lead to Rome, right? One of them is going to fit like a glove. The other ones are going to maybe be more challenging, or they're going to be obviously not harmonious and not resonant with you. Okay. I think that you're somebody who values the opinion of others. I think you have people in your life that you really want to know what they think. And when they say something as difficult or as painful as it might be to hear, you try to always listen. Okay. But I think in this case, you're trying really hard not to listen, because this is sometimes that peer pressure, that cultural pressure, that family pressure that makes the little kid say, I'm going to be a firefighter, just like my family, just like the rest of my family, And then, of course, the continued pressure over time and I know a person like this, and they're still doing it. And I don't know, you'd have to ask them if they're happy or not, or if that is their purpose, but it feels like there's a lot of pressure coming from outside that says, you got to decide what you're doing, you got to do it, and you got to keep doing it for the rest of your life. That's how it works, right? So when you're making your decisions and you're developing your life and your energy in this new direction, it feels like, when you're on your unique mission, it is yours alone, even if people criticize you, even if people say, what are you doing? That's silly. Even if people don't agree with it or make fun of it or whatever it is. Right? It's yours, and that's the Ace of Swords right in the middle. Despite all of the pressures on either side, inside and pressures coming from outside, you are not succumbing to that peer pressure or that cultural pressure or even the self-criticism or the self-doubt or that worry like, maybe I should just do something a little bit more practical, right? We don't have any earth cards here. We're not doing practical right now. The death card in the position of the environment, you're going to be shedding a skin. Okay, you're going to do a lot of growth, a lot of work, a lot of growth, and then you're going to emerge as that new, fresh being, right? And then you're going to have to do more work to build yourself up, to develop yourself, and then another skin comes off. So what that's kind of indicating to me, maybe a Tower card, is that your progress is going to feel like it plateaus. And then suddenly it's going to be shedding a skin. And then it's going to be more plateau. So you're not going to really see results day after day after day. But there will be certain periods of time where the growth just seems to explode. Okay? Where it feels like you're not making progress, and then suddenly you're going to level up. And it's like that in a lot of things, sports and meditation and in physical fitness. Well, especially in meditation, it kind of feels like you're doing the same old grind. You're in like a Eight of Pentacles kind of thing, right? It's just the same old thing over and over and over and over and over again. Doesn't feel like anything's changing. And then suddenly one day you make this really breakthrough, this huge stride forward. Okay? And then you're going to just sit there and same thing over and over and over and over and over again until it's almost like it's building up force until it can really shed that skin, make that particular progress. But the death card in your environment, I think that there are some conceptions you have about yourself that you need to let go of. I think there are relationships in your life that are not serving you anymore, that are not good for you. I feel that there's somebody in your life that, and I don't know who this is, if it's a family member or a friend, but I feel like they're kind of a narcissist. And I know that's a pretty heavy accusation, right? I feel like there's somebody, it's like there's somebody that sort of plays the victim, but it's a way of manipulating you. Okay? So if that is something going on for you, now hopefully not everybody, but if that's for you, make sure you're aware of that and don't let that hinder what you're trying to do for yourself right now. Okay? We've got that Emperor card, of course, and this is the obstacle. Right? And this is, it kind of, as the obstacle, kind of feels like this is the goal. Right? This is the goal of overcoming this obstacle, of achieving this, jumping over the finish line kind of thing. I think becoming the emperor, becoming the master, right? Leveling up your career or business, which is the priority, right? I feel like this is really you. This is really you stepping into the next phase of your spiritual evolution. It is sort of like the Pisces energy is stepping forward into the Aries energy, and now you're here. And now the work doesn't end. Okay? But this might see you really becoming a leader, becoming an authority, realizing that you've had that slow and steady activity, and then suddenly huge gains, and you've leveled up. And now you're this Emperor energy. And now it's kind of like, now you've achieved something. You've gone to the next grade, There is sometimes the tendency here in the Emperor energy to not continue the work, to not continue the journey. This is a sense of adepthood, where this is where we stay. We linger here. This is good. This is fine. Right? There is a point where we have to emerge past this, but this feels so good, it's tempting to stay here. Okay? Because this is the one that is getting the recognition. This is the one in charge. This is the one that has all the power. Okay. But when we then have the Knight of Wands, afterwards we realize that both Emperor energies, right? Both Aries energies, we realize that evolution has to continue, that we have to continue developing ourselves. And this might even be like continued education. This might be always, with the Knight, the Knight's always looking to the future. So this is looking in the future and thinking, okay, where can I go from here? What is coming next in this journey? Okay, and maybe this is, you get your, I don't know, for instance, you get a bachelor's degree, and it's kind of saying, well, this is nice. This is where I can start doing the work, and it's all good, and I'm making money, and well, let's keep going forward. Let's see what is next, what's coming next down the pipe for you. It doesn't have to be education, right? But this is how far up the ladder of your spiritual evolution are you going to go, right? Because it's kind of another cycle of this whole sacrifice process, right? We're kind of going back to the Hanged Man, and then we're sort of leveling up again. When you level up, it's almost as if you you break through the ceiling, and then you're standing on the floor. And then you've got to go up again, break through that ceiling, but then you're on the floor again. So every level up, you're kind of starting from the bottom of that level. You're not going down a level, right? But you're sort of starting at the beginning on that level. So with all these achievements, it's kind of like, okay, I just made this huge breakthrough, this huge development, but now I'm just kind of a novice again. It's all of these cycles that continue. Well, let's look at our mystery card. Yeah. I'm still thinking earth energy. I don't know what kind of, I think, if anything, a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles, showing that this is something that is, it is translating to the physical plane for you. It is resulting in physical, financial activities, But this is how you unleash your purpose, your unique skills, your life goals, your mission, your sense of self. Let's see, if you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. It's a 7 of Swords now. Now we got this one again. So this is the big sort of the point that Spirit is trying to make. Don't succumb to the pressures around you that make you think, maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe one of these other paths are better for me. Maybe that would be more fun. That's what everybody else is doing. Don't do that. When you find your path, when this is it, you have that certainty, stick to it. There will be temptations. There will be moments where you say, oh, it'd be so much nicer over there. Right? Don't do that. Because that's going to slow you down. That's going to make you fall, right? And it's like what I talk about sometimes with my daughter riding her bicycle. The bike is going to go where your eyes go. One day she was riding her bike. She's on training wheels. You probably heard the story. And she looks behind her to look at me, right? So she turns her head almost 180 degrees behind her to look at me. She looks backwards, and then her bike goes backwards too, and she falls over. She was okay. She was scared, but she was okay. And I told her, I said, wherever you look is where your bicycle's going to go. And that's what the 7 of Swords is all about. If you're on this path and you're trying to rush forward and you're doing all this intense work, but you start looking at what they're doing over there, you're sitting there with a baseball bat, you're going to get beamed. You're going to get hit with the ball, right? You're going to fall down. You're going to stumble. You're going to make a mistake. There's of course, there's advantage in being aware of what's going on around you, keeping your head on a swivel, yeah. But if we're distracted by what they're doing or what's over there, right? Or maybe that'd be better, maybe that'd be easier, maybe I should be doing that, right? Then, I should be here. I should be going forward in this direction, right? It's like me trying to do these readings and stay in this energy and stay in the zone and stay connected with Spirit, but then I'm trying to have a conversation with somebody over here, or I'm looking at my phone or something, or whatever, like reading a book or watching a TV. No, it doesn't work, right? So Spirit's saying, stay focused, stay committed. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the criticism. Don't allow your own inner critic to distract you. Once you get on this path, you give it all you've got. All right. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, like this wasn't long enough, right? We're going to extend it. Click on the link in the corner. There's a link in the video description if you want to watch the extended reading. Okay. New readings for Pisces Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.